Parenting when life feels too much. Hello, I'm the psychological fitness nana Lucy. If you're here because life feels too much at the moment, this is for you. Perhaps you're holding a great deal, the school messages, the appointments, the worries that wake you at 3 in the morning, your child's big feelings, a teenager who's become hard to reach, an aging parent, work, money, a relationship that needs your attention too. And all the while you're trying to stay steady for everybody else. Today, I want to talk to you about something that many parents quietly live with, being the safe place for everybody else, while having nowhere safe to put your own worries. The safe place needs safety too. When you're a parent, it can feel as though you're meant to be the steady one. You may be the one who notices when your child's not quite themselves, the one who remembers the forms, the medication, the packed lunch, the difficult conversation, the appointment, the friend who's not replied, the homework that's not been done yet. You may be the person everyone turns to when something goes wrong. And people may call you capable, strong, reliable. But sometimes capable can become another word for unsupported. You keep going because you can, and because you care, and because there never seems to be a good moment to stop. But being needed is not the same as being okay. That's worth saying again. Being needed is not the same as being okay. Sometimes we notice this only when we snap. Perhaps your child has asked one more question at the end of a long day and you hear your own voice rise. Or your partner says something ordinary and it lands as though it's one demand too many. Or your teenager gives you a one-word answer and instead of feeling patient, you feel hurt, angry, or completely defeated. Then comes the guilt. Why did I react like that? I should be able to cope better. Everyone else seems to manage. I'm supposed to be the adult here. But snapping does not necessarily mean that you're an angry parent. Often it means that you're overloaded. When you've been carrying too much for too long, your system has less room left in it. Small things begin to feel much bigger than they are. Not because you're weak, not because you do not love your family enough, but because you're human. And because no one is designed to carry everything alone. The goal is not to never feel overwhelmed. The goal is to notice the moment before the pressure spills over and to give yourself a small way back. That may begin with a very simple question. What am I carrying that nobody else can see? Not what needs doing next. Not what should I have done differently. What are you carrying? Perhaps it's fear, guilt, grief for the family life you thought you would have. Perhaps it's the worry that your child is struggling and you can't fix it. Perhaps it's simply tiredness, the kind that comes from being the capable one for too long. Naming it does not make it worse. Often it just makes it clearer. And once something's clearer, we're more able to decide what needs to happen next. Sometimes the next step is stillness, putting both feet on the floor, taking one longer breath out, saying to yourself, I don't have to solve everything in this moment. Sometimes the next step is repair. If you've been sharp, you can come back. You might say, look, I was too sharp earlier. I'm sorry. I've been carrying a lot lately, but it's not your fault. That sentence matters because it takes responsibility without putting your adult load onto your child. You're not asking them to look after you. You're showing them that people can make mistakes, can take responsibility and can begin again. And sometimes the next step is asking for help. This one can be the hardest thing for parents to do because when you've become the person who holds everything together, reaching out can feel like admitting that you're not managing. But asking for help is not failing. It's recognising that you matter too. You don't need to explain your whole life to someone. You can begin with an ordinary, honest sentence. You might say to a friend, I am having a harder week than I'm letting on. Could we have a walk or a coffee? To a partner, I don't need you to fix this, but I need you to understand that I'm carrying a lot. And to a family member, could you take this one thing off my list this week? Or even, I don't quite know what I need, but I just know I shouldn't be carrying all of this alone. This is a strong sentence because it opens the door and it gives somebody else the chance to stand beside you. It may not solve everything, we're not pretending it will, but support can make the load feel less lonely. And when parents feel less alone, they often have more room to be the steady, connected presence that they want to be. Not perfect, not endlessly patient, but more able to pause, repair, and come back. Ask yourself, where am I asking myself to cope alone? And then ask, who is one person that I could let in, even just a little bit? It might be a friend, a sibling, a partner, a colleague, another parent, a professional, or a community where people understand that family life can be both deeply loved and deeply tiring. The safe place needs safety too. And when you begin to care for the person who's holding so much, you're not taking something away from your family. You're strengthening the foundations beneath them. If this has spoken to something that you're carrying, Healthy Minds for Parents is here for the next stage. Inside the community, you'll find tools for handling pressure, ways to rebuild capacity, and a calm community of people who understand that you do not have to do family life alone. You don't need to arrive with everything worked out. You can come exactly as you are. I'm the Psychological Fitness Nana, and this is Psychological Fitness.